Back around the time I was born in 1944, scientists working on the Manhattan Project began to understand that their discovery held immense implications for the people of the future, and for that matter, all life on Earth. And after the war had ended, they took some trouble to make their concerns known both to the public and politicians. Well, today we have a situation a bit like that. People who study earth sciences have been trying to tell us for years now that the Earth climate system is disordered in such a way that it will bring enormous problems for future generations, for our grandchildren and for their grandchildren. And the time to fix it is now. But things are also a bit different now. During the Cold War, the threat of nuclear conflict was something easy to imagine and understand. People wrote books about it and made movies about it. But this problem is quite hard to imagine and understand. If you live in Alaska and you see trees falling over and houses falling down due to melting permafrost, or if you live on a Pacific atoll and you see the sea washing your island home away, or if you live in sub-Saharan Africa and see droughts that never end, you'll know that we have a problem from the evidence of your own eyes. But most folks wouldn't be aware of anything much that tells them we've got a problem. And it's also a bit hard to imagine a whole planet heating up. So this is a thing that we can't get our heads around very easily. And the reason the scientists who understand it best are more worried, much more worried than most of us, is that it's a complicated thing and can only be really understood after years of training. Okay, that's one thing. The second thing is that this gap between what the experts know and what the rest of us know is a kind of invitation to anyone who wants to contradict them. And into this gap, these people have put lots and lots of misinformation, ignorance, sometimes downright lies and propaganda. Now, the media doesn't have the expertise to discriminate between science and rubbish, and so we finish up with the impression that a lot less is known about this than is really known. Sometimes we even hear the fantastic claim that the whole bad news story is a kind of big lie made up by selfish and crooked scientists for their own gain. That such a preposterous idea could even get an audience at all shows how much confusion's been caused. Third, our democratic political systems have a bit of a difficulty with this. They have developed over the centuries as arrangements for balancing competing interests. That's the way they sort out answers to problems of society. But this time that's different too. There's no competition. We're all in the same boat, everything that lives on the earth. But politicians insist on treating it as though it were just another old-fashioned problem. And so we get coal men lined up against greenies, environment against jobs, new energy against old, and all the rest. And the solutions that the politicians devise are full of this false logic. But they are wrong. We're up against the laws of nature, all of us, and they don't negotiate. So the political system clearly has a lot of trouble coming to grips with this, and that's why even the best-intentioned governments have so far only proposed very weak and ineffectual answers. Now, I don't want to suggest that all the consequences of a disrupted climate will fall on my grandkids or yours. Far from it. They'll probably only see the beginning. If we are so foolish as to create a situation in which 3 degrees of warming or more is locked in, the planetary consequences will develop for hundreds of years and last many thousands. This is now quite certain and can easily be demonstrated from what we now know about the Earth's climate history. Once it gets going, it'll be unstoppable. And all the future inhabitants of the planet will know that we, the people of the new millennium, had the chance to avert it and chose not to. And that is a heavy burden that most of us have no idea our politicians are placing upon us. Only one thing can fix this, and that's if all the people who care about their grandkids demand of their politicians that they do what is necessary and not what's convenient for them. If you want to get clued up about why we have to go into bat for the people of the future and what we have to do, visit my website. The 3-part movie that follows is meant to be an introduction if you need one.